Hello everyone and welcome back to our class Unique Plus 2.0, and we will be continuing from where we left last in some basics of chemistry. Moving on to our first slide. Let's go through, get a revision of what we did last class. We learned what is chemistry. It is the study of atoms and molecules and how they transform from one phase to another. And it also deals with the composition, properties and interaction. That is what we say reaction also. And why do we need to learn chemistry? We need to learn chemistry because it is related to our everyday life. It also helps in medicine, technology, food processing, etc. And also we learned that it has 4 branches: organic, physical, inorganic and analytical, which I had given a little brief about what they are. Moving on, let's see what we will learn today. Today we will learn about the nature of matter, the classification of matter and the properties of matter. Let's see nature of matter. Now, what is matter? Matter is anything which occupies space, which has mass. For example, if I say this pen, which I have in my hand, it has mass and it occupies space. All living beings, all living things around us, even air, it has mass and it occupies space. Let's come to states of matter. Now, matter is of 3 types, as I told you last class. It is solids, liquids and gases. Now, solids that have definite shape and volume. As I have shown you in this picture, there are particles which are closely attached. Imagine yourself going into a bus and the bus is very crowded. There is no space to move around. So it's like the same thing where solids, the particles are closely attached to each other where they cannot move from one place or the other. Whereas in liquids, it has a definite volume but has no definite shape. As you see, whatever liquid you pour into any container, it takes the form of a container. If you pour into a glass, it takes the form of a glass. It takes the shape of the glass. Now over here we have poured the liquid into a beaker and you see the particles are floating into the liquid. So they are free flowing. Now in gases, they have no definite shape. As you see, their particles are freely moving in the air. They have ample of space to travel from anywhere. And in gases, it doesn't have a definite shape, nor does it have any definite volume. So this is what we learned about states of matter. Moving on. Now we'll learn about the classification of matters, how matters are classified. First, matter is classified into 2 types, mixtures and pure substance. Now mixture is, suppose we have 2 things, two samples and we mix them together. That is what is mixtures. Now here I have given an example of sugar and water. So if we take sugar and water and mix it together, we get a sugar solution. Whereas we mix salt and water, we get a salt solution. Or in place of that, if we take mud and water, it also mixes, but somewhat it will be separated. You'll just see a turbid little solution. You can call it muddy water. Now, in pure substance, there's a fixed composition. They have no mixtures in them. It is pure. There is no any other impure material in it. For example, gold, copper, these materials, they have no other components present in them. So they are called pure substances. Now mixtures too are further classified into homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Now, how homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures? Homogeneous mixtures are something which are uniformly, mixed. For example, like salt and water. Now, salt and water when mixed together and mixed really very well, you'll find there are no sugar particles left in it. There is no, you cannot separate salt and sugar from it. So it is an homogeneous mixture. Whereas in an heterogeneous mixture, if you take mud and water and you mix it together, they both will get mixed together, but then you will see the mud after some time separating from the water. So that is called a heterogeneous mixture. Further, we see in pure substances too are further classified as elements and compounds. Now over here, elements are something which consists of only one atom. They consist of one atom. They are either atoms or molecules. For example, if I say an atom of oxygen or an atom of hydrogen. On the other hand, compounds are formed when two atoms or two molecules combine with each other in a definite ratio. For example, if I say H2O, so over here we have two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen, and this ratio comes up to 2:1. All right. Let's see properties of our matter. Now, properties, in the last lecture also I said there are two properties, physical and chemical. Now, physical properties are what the outer look of a matter or any substance it is. It's like if you can measure it without changing its composition. And the physical look is like the color, density, the melting point, boiling point, freezing point. Even conductivity can be identified in physical properties. Whereas in chemical properties, the substance has to react with another substance, often changing its composition. It's mostly the chemical composition. Fine. That's it for today. We will meet in the next lecture.